Do you know that sound? That relentless, piercing chime that doesn't just wake you up, it attacks you. It's the first battle of the day, isn't it? The one fought in the dark, under the sheets, against that little button that promises just 5 more minutes. A battle we so often lose before our eyes are even fully open. And then it comes, that feeling, that weight. It's not just sleepiness, is it? It's a physical thing. A tight feeling in your chest, a pit at the bottom of your stomach, a cage of butterflies made of lead. Your body feels heavy, your limbs are anchored to the mattress, and there's a feeling deep inside, like you're being choked up and you just want to scream. Some mornings it feels like you've woken up already being chased to the edge of a cliff by a lion. That's not just being not a morning person. That is something deeper. That is a truth that so many of us are afraid to speak out loud. The moment your mind flickers on, it's not greeted with peace. It's met with an avalanche of tumultuous emotions, a cascading catalog of every single thing you have to do today. The mountain of emails you will never dig yourself out of, the phone calls you have to return, the meeting across town, the family responsibilities, the bills, the worries, the everything. Your mind is already racing, filled with an intense, suffocating worry about the day ahead, a feeling of being behind before your feet have even touched the floor. It is a wretchedness, a deep, profound wretchedness that washes over you, and with it come the names we give these feelings: sadness, frustration, anger, hopelessness. A fatigue so deep it feels like it's in your bones. You have no energy to start your day. The smallest, most simple tasks, taking a shower, making a cup of coffee, they feel like climbing Mount Everest. You feel paralyzed. You look at the life waiting for you outside that bedroom door and you don't want it. You are so dissatisfied with your reality that you develop an inherent wish to avoid it, to just stay in the warm, dark denial of your bed. And the worst part? The loneliness, the crushing isolation of it all. You look out the window, you scroll through your phone, and it seems like the entire world is in love with the morning. Everyone is watching the sunrise, going for walks, smiling, and you feel like an outsider in your own life. You're tired of the ignorant morning people saying silly things like, "Oh, you just need to get more sleep." They just don't understand. They don't understand that even on a full night's sleep, you still feel this way. They don't understand that you are fighting a battle they can't see, a battle you feel like you are fighting completely, utterly, alone. But listen to me. Listen to my voice right now. What if I told you that this feeling, this dread, this weight, this anxiety is not a weakness? What if it's a power that you've been taught to misunderstand? What if the very thing that feels like it's crushing you is actually the energy you need to break free? For years, we've been sold a lie. The lie is that the morning is something that happens to us. We've been conditioned to be reactive. What is the very first thing most of us do when that alarm finally wins the war? We reach for the phone. We surrender our most precious, most vulnerable moments of the day to a little glowing screen. We invite the chaos of the world into our minds before we've even had a chance to say hello to ourselves. We become a digital thief's first victim. In that single instant, we're bombarded. We are hit with a tidal wave of the needs, the demands, the opinions, and the emergencies of other people. Work emails screaming for our attention. Social media notifications showing us all the ways our lives don't measure up. News headlines designed to make us feel anxious and afraid. Our brain, still shaking off sleep, is jolted with information-heavy data that is scientifically proven to fragment our focus and spike our stress. We are letting the world get between us and our own thoughts. This state, this reactive state, it gives you the illusion of momentum. You feel busy, right? You're scrolling, you're responding, you're reading. It feels like you're doing something, but you are gaining no tangible ground. You are a passenger in your own life, not the driver. You are simply reacting to one external thing after another, like a demented and drunken bee, flitting from one distraction to the next. And this reinforces that deep, sinking feeling that you are not in control. And here is the critical part. Remember that feeling of dread, that anxiety? That's your body's natural cortisol awakening response. It's a surge of a hormone that is designed to do one thing: give you energy to face the day. It's supposed to be your rocket fuel. But what happens when you wake up and immediately plug into the world's chaos? You take all of that powerful, raw, untamed energy and you feed it directly into the mouth of your anxiety. You attach it to your work stress. You connect it to your financial worries. You weld it to your feelings of inadequacy. You create a vicious, painful cycle where that morning energy becomes completely synonymous with overwhelming, paralyzing stress. You have been taught the language of powerlessness. You wake up and your inner voice says, Gabriel, I have to check my email. There's nothing I can do about this meeting. My boss is going to ruin my day. You are blaming circumstances. You are blaming other people. You are building your emotional life around the actions and emotions of others. But what if you could learn a new language, a language of power, a language that says, I choose to begin my day in peace. I can handle the challenges ahead. I will own this day. The difference between those two languages is everything. So where do we begin? How do we learn this new language? We start by understanding a fundamental truth, a truth that has been echoed by the greatest minds in history. The real enemy is not the alarm clock. It's not your boss. It's not the overflowing inbox. The hardest, most important, and most rewarding battle you will ever fight is the one within yourself. The ancient philosopher Aristotle said, I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies. For the hardest victory is over self. Think about that. The hardest victory is over self. President Harry S. Truman discovered this when he studied the lives of the world's most impactful leaders. He said, in reading the lives of great men, I found that the first victory they won was over themselves. Self-discipline with all of them came first. The first victory, not the last. Not a victory won after they became successful. It was the victory that made them successful. And I know what you're thinking. Discipline. That word feels heavy. It sounds like punishment. It sounds like restriction. It sounds like everything you don't want when you're already feeling overwhelmed. But that is another lie. We have to aggressively reframe what discipline means. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the ultimate, most profound form of self-love and self-respect. It is, as Abraham Lincoln suggested, choosing between what you want now and what you want most. It is the bridge that takes you from the goal in your mind to the accomplishment in your hand. Clint Eastwood said it perfectly. Respect your efforts, respect yourself. Self-respect leads to self-discipline. When you have both firmly under your belt, that's real power. This isn't about forcing yourself to do things you hate. This is about respecting yourself enough to make choices that serve the person you want to become. It's about loving your future self more than you love your current comfort. And here's the best news of all. Self-discipline is not some magical trait you are either born with or you're not. It is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Every single time you feel that pull to hit snooze, to grab the phone, to give in to the reactive impulse, and you choose to do one small, proactive thing instead, you are doing a rep. You are strengthening that muscle. You are building your power. This isn't just a theory. This is the lived experience of countless people who have walked out of the same darkness you might be feeling right now. I think of a man named John. For him, the mornings became so dark, so filled with pain and anguish, that the sound of his own little daughter's happy footsteps coming down the hall was something he dreaded. It meant another day of trying to function, of feeling hopeless, but through a journey of seeking help and learning to build new habits, he found his way back. He fought that internal battle. He won that first victory over himself. And now, he says the greatest miracle is once again hearing those little feet and feeling nothing but joy, because he knows it's the start of a new and brighter day. I think of a woman named Gabi. She felt so alone in her struggle, so lost in the constant noise in her head that just getting up and functioning took every ounce of her energy. But she found the courage to speak up. She found the strength to take control of her own well-being. And in doing so, she discovered she wasn't alone at all. She discovered a power within herself that she never knew she had. These are not stories about superheroes. These are stories about ordinary people who decided to win that first hardest victory, the victory over themselves. And if they can do it, so can you. So, how do we forge this new dawn? How do we build these rituals of a new beginning? It starts with a philosophy, a simple, powerful idea. If you win the morning, you win the day. This isn't about creating a long, complicated checklist of things you have to do. This is about establishing clarity from your first breath. It's about creating a small slice of peace and calm to ground yourself, a daily act of self-love that sends ripples of positivity, focus, and happiness throughout your entire day. These are not chores. These are not tasks. These are rituals, acts of self-reverence. Let's start with the very first moment. Ritual number 1. The first conscious act. Before your mind can start the avalanche of worry, before you even think about the world outside, you will perform 2 simple acts. First, you will drink a full glass of water that you left by your bedside the night before. This is your first micro commitment to your own well-being. Second, you will make your bed. I know, it sounds trivial. It sounds like something your mother told you to do. But this is not about tidiness. This is a profound psychological nudge. In under 60 seconds, you have completed your first task of the day. You have brought a small piece of order to your immediate environment. You have achieved your first small win. That single act sends a powerful message to your subconscious mind. I am the kind of person who does what they say they are going to do. I am in control. Now let's deal with that energy. That cortisol, that feeling of dread. Ritual number 2, rechannel the energy. You have to move your body. This is non-negotiable, but it doesn't have to be a grueling 1-hour workout. It can be 10 simple stretches. It can be 20 jumping jacks. It can be a 5-minute walk around your block. The purpose is to take that buzzing, anxious energy that's flooding your system and give it a job. Movement is how you metabolize stress. It's how you burn off that excess cortisol. It releases a cocktail of positive chemicals like endorphins and dopamine that naturally boost your mood. And while you're at it, get some natural sunlight in your eyes. Just a few minutes of morning light helps to reset your body's internal clock, signaling to your brain that it's time to be alert, focused, and awake. You are literally transforming that feeling of dread into focused, positive, usable energy. You are not defeating the dragon, you are taming it and learning to ride it. Finally, after you've honored your body, it's time to claim your mind. Ritual number 3, stillness and intention. Before you check a single email or scroll through a single feed, you will give yourself 5 minutes of stillness. You can practice deep breathing. You can use a meditation app, or you can simply sit in silence and observe your thoughts without judgment. The goal is to quiet the critical mind. In that stillness, you will perform 2 more powerful acts. First, you will write down on paper, not on your phone, 3 specific things you are grateful for. This simple practice has been proven to rewire your brain, forcing it to scan for the positive instead of defaulting to its natural negativity bias. Second, you will set 1 intention for the day. This is not a to-do list. A to-do list is about what you have to do. An intention is about who you want to be. Maybe your intention is patience. Maybe it's courage. Maybe it's kindness. This intention becomes your truth north for the day. It's the compass you can return to when things get stressful, helping you navigate your challenges proactively instead of reactively. This isn't some new age fad. This is the timeless practice of the world's most successful and impactful people. Oprah Winfrey starts her day with meditation to center her mind and spirit. Barack Obama made his early morning workouts a non-negotiable part of his presidency to maintain his mental and physical health. Centuries ago, one of America's founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, would wake up at 5 a.m. and ask himself a simple, powerful question. What good shall I do this day? They all understood that to lead the world, you must first lead yourself. And that leadership begins in the quiet moments of the dawn. Why does this matter so much? Because the victory you claim in that first hour doesn't stay in that first hour. It echoes. It creates a ripple effect that transforms your entire day and eventually your entire life. When you start your day with intention, with a proactive stance, you change your posture for everything that follows. You are no longer walking into your day from a defensive crouch, waiting for the next blow. You are standing tall, moving forward with purpose. You are no longer just dealing with things as they come. You are shaping your day. Your mind, having been grounded in calm and gratitude, is focused and clear, not scatterbrained and anxious. This daily practice of discipline does more than just make you more productive. It builds you. It forges your character. It cultivates, as one writer put it, the old-fashioned basics of self-reliance, self-motivation, and self-reinforcement. You slowly begin to change the story you tell yourself. You are no longer the victim of your mornings. You are the architect of your days. You are not someone who can't get out of bed. You are someone who chooses to rise. And that internal shift inevitably creates an external one. Your interactions with your family, your friends, and your colleagues are better because you're not starting from a place of stress and irritability. You handle unexpected challenges with more grace and resilience because you've already practiced overcoming resistance first thing in the morning. That little win over the snooze button becomes a training ground for the bigger challenges of life. You become a source of strength, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. They see the change. They feel the new energy. You become living proof that transformation is possible. But the real magic isn't in doing it once. It's not about a single heroic effort. The true power lies in the quiet, humble, repeated commitment. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Success in life is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every single day. It's the daily stacking of those small wins, making the bed, drinking the water, taking the walk, that over time build a life of achievement, purpose, and peace far beyond anything you could have ever planned for. So now we stand at a crossroads. You've heard the truth. You understand the lie of the reactive morning. You feel the power that lies in discipline and the promise of a new beginning. The only question left is, what will you do with it? I want you to reframe the sunrise. For so long, it has felt like a threat, a judgment, a painful reminder of another day you have to endure. But from this moment forward, I want you to see it for what it truly is. It is an invitation. It is, as the writer Douglas Pagel said, a blank page in the diary of your life. It is the universe leaning in and whispering, let's start again. Remember the words of Victor Hugo, even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. That sunrise is for you. It is a promise. With that new day comes new strength and new thoughts. This is your chance to let go. Let go of all the mornings you've lost. Let go of the frustration, the guilt, the feeling of failure. As Karl Barth wrote, although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. Your past does not get to write your future. Your past failures do not define you. What defines you is the choice you make right now. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Believe that. I'm not going to ask you to do everything I've talked about tomorrow morning. That's overwhelming. That's how we fail. Instead, I'm going to ask you to make one choice, just one. When that alarm goes off tomorrow, I want you to commit to one small act of defiance, one act of self-love. Will you make your bed? Will you drink that glass of water? Will you simply stand up, walk to the window, and watch the sky for 60 seconds? Just one thing, that's it. Because that one small victory is the first crack in the dam. It's the first domino to fall. It is the proof you need that you have the power to change. The dawn is coming. It is not your enemy. It is not your judge. It is your inheritance. It is a gift of a new beginning offered to you every single day. Tomorrow morning, when you hear that alarm, don't just wake up. Rise. Claim your dawn.